Illinois has the highest number of wrongful convictions in the U.S., according to data from the National Registry of Exonerations. Well, now a new state investigation unit plans to fight against them. Good evening, I'm Janice Rebholz. Thanks for joining us at 6. We start things off with Liz Lape in the studio with details on this new unit in tonight's top story. Liz.
Janice, 24 convictions were overturned last year in Illinois alone. The Illinois Attorney General hopes to shrink that number in future years. And experts say they only see good to come from the effort. Tuesday, Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul introduced the first ever conviction integrity unit in the state. Partnering with other law officials across Illinois, the unit will investigate claims and evidence on whether or not people in jail are innocent.
Wrongful convictions destroy lives. Wrongful convictions diminish faith in our criminal justice system. They put victims and public safety at risk by allowing the true perpetrators to escape unpunished.
The Exoneration Project in Chicago works to bring justice to people who have been wrongly convicted. Senior staff attorney Lauren Myers-Koff-Mueller says it's difficult to prove innocence after conviction.
I have many clients who have served 30 years, 32 years, in decades in prison, and that's unfortunately very common before someone is able to take the case and get a court to really review the evidence.
Myers-Koff-Mueller believes the unit is a step in the right direction, saying efforts like this have been successful in other states. She says this will not only impact those who've been wrongly convicted, but also victims and families.
Everybody loses some faith in the system when people are wrongly convicted. The impact that this unit will have and can have on so many people in Illinois is really limitless.
And she says the unit will also provide a valuable resource to counties that may have not had access to units like this before.
There is a need to right the wrongs, potentially determine who did actually commit the crime, but also to prevent these things from happening.
Myers-Koff-Mueller says a person wrongfully convicted of a crime will spend an average of 8 years waiting for exoneration. Their website is already running. We have a link at 25newsnow.com.